me. I am Stranger Babe, and this is my third live welcome. I'm hoping I get a chance to talk to anybody that want to talk. My first video was about gang stalking and my experience. I've been experiencing gang stalking for the last 2 years, and it has B2K in it. Yes, I'm not the ones that just getting people that's doing skits. I'm getting the B2K, Voice to Skull. And I came on live simply because I wanted to talk to the people that's doing it. And I know it came from the internet. Because I used to go on the internet and debate with people and they didn't like it, so I was targeted. Right now I have nobody in chat, so I'm just gonna keep chatting a little bit. So if you run across this video, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. But V2K is, like I said, voice to skull. When you're hearing voices, I hear three of them. It's a female and two males. One sound like a feminine male. You know, they also say like, what they say to me is belligerent, downgrading, and it's not schizophrenia. This is man-made schizophrenia. They spit out a couple of different organizations that's doing it. I said who they was in my first video. But also, I want to remind you, these voices a lie, and everything they say is a lie. So I can't believe too much of anything of what they say and who they are. But I know for a fact it came from the internet. B2K, what it's been doing is it will repeat the same thing over and over again. You know, hell is repetition, and that is what they're putting me through. Just having them in my head, talking and looping, it's like a loop that they're doing. How old are you? Doesn't matter. But anyway, I'm a grown woman. I'm grown, okay? You can see the gray in my hair. But what they do is they loop. It's like a loop. They talk about anything downgrading. They insult you, your looks. They also try to criminalize your thoughts. This V2K is in my head. You know, I'm from Florida. It's in my head. I'm in Utah right now. And I never experienced B2K like I have here. They got it bad down here. I mean, you can hear, like, I can hear three different voices putting me down, downgrading, asking for sex, asking for money, saying that I'm gonna be gang banged by 40 men. Really, you are, yes, I know you. I doubt you know me. I've lived in a small town all my life. I don't know that many people. So, you know, good luck with that. I don't think you know me. My world has been pretty small. But anyway, the harassment came from the internet because I used to get up here and I'd debate people about different topics. Someone asked me what I think about guys going in the women's restroom. What I think about that is this is I'm gonna add more to it. What I think about that is if they're genuinely trying to be female or want to be female and they're dressing like a female, then yeah, I have no problem with them. But if it's just a man trying to go in there and looking just like a man, then yeah, I would have a problem with that. I'll probably leave out of the restroom. But yeah, you got to be actively living like a woman for me to feel comfortable with a transgender in the bathroom. You got to be living like a woman, not looking like a man with fingernail polish on, and that's it. So I just want to go a little more in depth about what I think about it, because I dig gay people. They're cool. Not all of them, just like all straight people are not cool. I have a question. What's your question? I want to say this, that this is my third live. What do you think about women in our modern era? I don't think too much about them. People are people. They act the way they want to act. They dress the way they want to dress. They can, do whatever the law allows. As far as them wanting to be single or, work outside the home, stuff like that. And that's their choice. They got it now. It was a time they didn't have a choice. Men wanted them home. And men's, as far as men today, I think a lot of men are coming out as being, a lot of them being selfish. They don't want the responsibilities of family, and they have the right to not want a family. But as far as being in the home and participating in their kids' life, and participating in people in their kids' life, I think they should do that regardless of what lifestyle they choose. You are a new liver. You are a new liver. I'm not sure what that means. You could explain that. But anyway, I came on here to meet my trolls head on. The ones that decided to get off the internet and troll me in real life. Like I said, I used to come on lives and debate them and talk about anything, and I did it the way I wanted to do. I said what I wanted to say, and yes, like you are new. Yeah, I'm new on live. Yeah, yeah. This is my third live, but I have other videos. Some are about kittens and cats feeding feral animals, and it's only pretty much cats. I raised 2 litters, and well, I got like 660, and it's holding. I'm trying to get more subscribers. Somebody can relate to what I'm talking about, and um, feel what I'm saying. You can't relate with everybody, but I know there's some people that will understand what I'm talking about and going through the things that I'm going through with this gang stalking. I think this gang stalking came from being on YouTube. You got these clown ass YouTubers that like to get off the internet and fuck with people. How many subjects? Okay, that's the same question. Yeah, I'm new on live, but I got almost 1,400 videos. It's some of them private, but I plan to release them, let everybody see them. The ones that are private are very wrong. I'm being myself, and I'm telling you exactly what I think. And probably will get under some people's skin. Can you play with me a game? I'm a grown woman. I don't play too many games. And I don't know how we're going to do that. I'm not going to play any how smart are you games. I don't want to be tested. I'm here to tell you about, okay, add a sticker, something you're looking forward to this week. Nope, I don't want to do that. No, I'm not doing no math. I wasn't good at math. You may be good at math, but I'm not good at math. I'm good at life. Yes, I've been through a lot in during the time I've been on this planet. So, no, I don't speak Arabic. But yeah, as far as math, I'm at the age, only thing I'm doing is counting my money. Okay, and the dollars ain't that high, so I don't have to count that far. And my apartment is empty. I guess you see that, so I'm not gonna be here that long. I don't know. I mean, really, I'm not into any of that. Look, I don't know what you're talking about, and I ain't trying to know. I mean, as far as it means hi, okay, then just say hi. I'm sure you can see that I'm an American black woman. You know, why do I have to read it if you're gonna? Oh, you want me to? You testing me? You want to see if I can pronunciate the words that you're typing? You're trying to be like smart or something, smarter than me. Good for you. You know big words. What is it? What did you say? Let me see. Yeah, I guess it's Albrick, Albrick. Oh no, Arabic. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I don't know that word. I don't know those words. I'm Af- I'm not. I'm black. Okay, I'm black and I live in America, and so I'm not. I ain't trying to learn nothing new. I done learned enough over the years. Enough. But anyway, I don't. I don't understand why you want me to say it. But anyway, what I was talking about was gang stalking. I'm talking about gang stalking. Gang stalking that's going on, that's coming from the internet. Y'all came off the internet and into my life. Like the B2K shit, it needs to stop. I think everybody needs to know about it. It's when you hear voices and they're somebody sitting somewhere with a computer and they're talking to you. They're talking to you. And no, it's not schizophrenia. This is man made schizophrenia. I mean, I try to figure it out. I'm thinking, oh, am I going crazy? No, I ain't that fucking crazy. I don't know. Why would I guess? All I see is a name. Guess how old I am. I'm guessing you're probably in your 20s, maybe in your 60s, but wanting to play games, you're probably young. Most likely young and probably with that trolling shit. I know that's good for you. Okay. The last one that was on there was 63. At 77, I don't know why you want to want me to read words you know that's not even in the dictionary. It's not in the dictionary, at least not mine. That's good for you. I'm from the U.S. also, the United States of America. Okay, we're 15 minutes into this live. And once again, gain stalking is when you hear gain stalking, is when a group of people tries to downgrade you or humiliate you in public. You know, I remember I was walking down the street, some guy out the blue just pointed at my shoes. Now, mind you, these are my walking shoes. They was comfortable shoes. And it is not like, oh, you just had funny shoes on and somebody just put, no, this was orchestrated. You know, they come off the internet and he looked at like he fresh off the boat. So, but I guess he wanted to say that my shoes was bad and he had better shoes or something. I mean, kudos for you. But he was a grown ass man trying to play stupid ass kids games. You know, look at those shoes. And he probably sounds just like that. This big black weirdo. But anyway, like I was saying, gang stalking is when people come off the internet and they messing with YouTubers, messing with your mind, you know, playing these games in real life. And they got technology. Ooh, excuse me, better burping, tasting, farting, wasting. They're playing games with your mind, you know, trying to make you feel like you're going crazy or something. But it's really people off the internet that is coming at you. Either they didn't like what you said politically, or they're just trying to set you up with some in a way to get you in trouble. Like V2K, I could be walking down the street, somebody will pass by and I hear bitch, you know, just out of the blue. And then it started progressing until they were saying whole sentences. First it was just words, but then they're saying whole sentences. And what they do, they get into like almost like reading your mind. Now, I don't know. I don't know if it's some kind of technology where it makes your thoughts bounce back to you and they can't read your mind. It feel like telepathy also. This is the B2K. Telepathy, telepathy like you're talking back and forth with someone with your mind. And I know it sounds crazy because it is crazy. And I think this technology is out here and people don't know it yet. I'm sure they're practicing it on other people out here. But, you know, it's being just pushed aside like, oh, bitch, you crazy. No, I'm not crazy. I ain't that crazy. This is happening. And I know within maybe 10, 20 years, the word will be out that this is real. You know, they said a long time ago that they're going to start trying to hold your thoughts against you. That means that somebody done invented some type of machinery to take a peek in your brain and find out what you're thinking. And yes, it could be just a scam, you know, where your voice is bouncing back into here. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I didn't study how to fuck with people. That's not my forte. But I came on here to let everybody know that this is going on. It's happening and it's happening to me. I am one of the target. I don't even like the label target individual. You know, oh, why did they target? target me. They target me because I was going against the grain. I was not acting like everybody was either on one side or another. I was on my own side. And I had my thoughts, I had opinions of everything. And it was my opinion. It wasn't what somebody else said. It's my thoughts on the situation, on what was going in this on this planet. Oh man. But anyway, what was good? I guess that's how to do that. I did not try to do that. It's sunny or cloudy today. But over here it's sunny. It's a beautiful day in Utah. Am I going to be in Utah for long? Hell no. They got the B2K in Utah. Yes. These motherfuckers ain't got shit else to do but master the computer and sit around and think of ways to fuck with people. They're not partying in these mountains. What they're doing, they're getting computer literate and they're finding ways how to fuck with your head in the mountains. Now this started, my game started about 2.5, I won't say 2.5 years ago with, just coming around my house, standing still in front of me. You know, they like to act like they're zombies and shit. Like they nodding off, like they want you to videotape them nodding off. That's just a way that, it can get more funding for drug addiction. They put a bunch of nodders in front of you. They look acting like they going to sleep in front of your video. Everywhere you go, somebody nodding off. Just a way to get funded. It's all a scam. It's a skit. I know when I see a drug addict and just standing in front of me, acting like you about to pass out with your head down, like, oh, what is going on? What's going on is fuckery, trying to get funded. Acting like everybody on drugs out here. I mean, you got people on drugs, but not everybody just falling out in front of you and nodding off in front of you. If I'm not mistaken, when a drug addict want to use drugs, they want to be somewhere where they can use them out peacefully. They don't want to be on front street. It's skits that they're making up. I don't believe none of that shit. Everybody talking about men in the bathroom. If they're trying to dress like a woman, live like a woman, I don't have no problem with them being in there. But if they just a man want to come in a woman's bathroom, then I don't think it's cool at all. Okay, we got 3 people in chat. It's going back and forth. That's all good. But if there's something else you want to know, since you want to gang stalk me so bad, I'm right in front of you. You can talk to me right now. Because I know the gang stalkers and the ones that like to use the B2K is right here on the internet. So I'm in your face. I'm in your house. So if anything you want to talk to me about, let's do it right now. I mean, you were so bold to come and play these games in my face. I'm not playing no games. I want to know exactly what's up with you. Because I guess because I'm black and I ain't got a lot of money, I'm to be fucked with. Is that it? Somebody you can play games with? Try to see who's the smartest in the room. It's always gonna be you. You're gonna be always be the smartest one in the room. It's always gonna be you. Some people call it smart ass. Think you know every fucking thing. So, since you wanted to come outside of the internet and fuck with me, I'm coming back on the internet. And yeah, talk to me now. Ooh, enjoying this. Talk to me now. Talk to me. I mean, you done made this whole, you done tagged everybody you can tag, calling me a racist, calling me a homophobe, calling me a bitch and all this kind of shit. Well, I'm in your house. You can call it now. Let's do it now. Let's talk about it right now. Because I know it's some people that be on this chat that's never off the chat. They call them bots, but these are some nasty ass bots. And sometimes they're just botted, they're robotic, they're computers. And then sometimes they have people take over. That's exactly what they're doing with the B2K. Sometimes it's just a loop, a computer loop, just saying the same dumb shit over and over with the B2K. And then it's someone who's actually orchestrating it, talking with me through B2K. And a lot of people don't want to talk about this subject because they sound crazy. The reason why you sound crazy is because it is crazy. It's crazy as fuck, and they don't want the American people to know exactly what they're doing. Now, these people tell me they LGBTQ, they're Masons, they're YouTubers, but they could just be I believe they're YouTubers. I don't believe they could be Satanists, who knows, who cares? But it's a group of them all got together and trying to hog the internet. They want all the little internet change for themselves, and they think they're the ones can dictate who can and cannot be on the internet. And these they're sexual, nasty, sexual. They would say all kinds of weird shit in your head, like give them sex, give them money. But yeah, it's right here. It's right here on this internet. All that gang stalking, all that B2K came right from here. They like to play games and make fun of how you talk, how you look, how you dress. It's other internet users. It's them, it's the YouTubers. That's who's doing it. They're the ones that stalk and following you, standing there acting stupid. Like they can't move, like they frozen, like they're drug addicts. That's just a way to, like I said, it's just a way to get more funding. For their cause. Oh, we're here to help all the people that's homeless and doing drugs. So they prop them up. So when you're out YouTube and they have these props in front of you, like, oh man, look at them. I hope they get them some help. Everybody know when they see a damn drug addict, And they usually drug addicts don't want to be on camera, but these motherfuckers do like this, And it's other YouTubers doing stupid shit like that for their cause, and they like to use other YouTubers to get them to film fake drug addicts. They put them there. While you walking down the street, they riding down the street, setting it all up. I can give you an example. I was walking down the street, and it was these supposedly homeless people. They was all no. First, they was all white. They had the blankets on, sitting in front of a restaurant. It was a cold day or whatnot, and I'm passing by. I'm YouTubing, and I'm YouTubing or whatnot. I'm talking. I'm behind the camera, not in front of it. So I see about maybe about 4 people in their blankets sitting in front of a restaurant. The restaurant hadn't opened, and I passed by. I did not videotape them, but all of them was white. I come back from the store, all of them black, all of them black. And just so happened when I was passing back from them, passing again, the police came up, hit his sirens, and made them scatter. But yes, first they was all white homeless people and sitting in front of the restaurant. While the restaurant was closed, when I came back from the store, it was all black people sitting in front of the restaurant, same black blankets on. You know, it's a mind fuck. They're playing games. That is another incident. Now, should I videotape it? I think the assholes know when you're videotaping because they tap into your phone. They hack your phone. When you're a YouTuber, your phone is hacked. Just like they be like, oh, get a better phone, get a better phone. They want you to get a better phone so they can move the cursor around and look all through your shit. They want to look all in your house while you sitting up on live. They down the hall on your new phone. They going left, right, ain't even listening to a damn thing you saying. They trying to see what you got up in that bitch. That's what they're trying to do. They're criminals. And the reason why I say they're criminals is simply because one time, well, twice, I lost my wallet. And they follow me everywhere I go. And when I lost my wallet, they got my cards and they tried to send my numbers to different states. This happened twice. Trying to send my numbers into different states. You know, my bank numbers. You know, they don't try to use your card in the state you in. They'll send your numbers to somebody else. So it's a criminal organization. And yes, a lot of people say, oh, it has a lot to do with sex trafficking. Yes, it does. They're trying to hide the illegals. You know, they try to hide anybody they think is stupid enough. Not stupid enough, I take that back. Anybody that don't know the rules of this planet, don't know their rights. If you don't know your rights, then they will try to abuse you as far as getting you to do stupid stuff. They'll lie. They'll lie to you. You know, tell them they're gonna call ICE on them if they don't do this. Because what they was telling me, they told me if I don't have sex with 40 men, that the teenagers in the neighborhood was gonna jump me. And I was like, okay, jump me. So that means I gotta have, now mind you, if I had sex with 40 men, I'm gonna get something that Ajax can't get off me. You know, I'm gonna get up sick. So when I refuse, now this is what they were saying through V2K. And then they would be going, like, it sounded like they're in a crowd or something. And you can hear, I can hear this voice just talking. It sounded like he was talking loud. It sounded like he was praying, but he was using profanity as he prayed. And so, they try to make it witchy. They put sticks all in your yard, throw black bags in your yard. Every day not every day, maybe about a week or so, you'll see a one black bag. That's one way to insult you, calling me a black bag. So they was doing that, and they would gather up sticks and just put a pile of sticks in my yard, trying to make it look witchy. Dang it. They would also hurt the animals. They don't put it past them. They will hurt animals, steal them, injure them. Um, yeah, whatever they can, they will hurt animals. If you have a pet and you're being targeted, be sure to keep your pet inside, and they will break into your home. Yes. And sometimes the landlord is a part of it. I remember I told the landlord that I was hearing something in the house. He gonna laugh and say, "Oh, it's probably," he said, a speaker, some kind of speaker, and laughed about it. And the way I found this house is, I would think I need a house maybe with 2 bedrooms, and poof, a flyer comes up, and with a house with 2 bedrooms, and they was going in and out of the house like they was paying rent. I should have stuck with just looking for myself. But then once they figured out that, okay, she's not a social person, she's not gonna let anybody in their house, in their home, or in her life, what they'll do is um they would start the V2K up. If they can't touch you, if you're not a social person and they cannot get into your life, by being social, they'll start a V2K with you. People be like, how do they know where I'm going? They must be tracking my phone. No, they're tracking your brain waves. They know what you're thinking. They know you're gonna go get that hotel, or you're gonna move in that house, because they got this technology now that they're not telling the public about. It's a secret. Okay, we're at 37 minutes, and I have 0 viewers. So I'm gonna keep on talking because this is live. Now, it was a lady that lived across the street from me. She butted up with me and stuff, and then she would say, like, kind of offhanded, "Oh, you don't want to join us? You don't want to join us?" I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck she talking about. And then, she was a selfish bitch. I'm talking about, she wouldn't do nothing unless she benefited from it. So these are the type of people that you're dealing with. She didn't do nothing unless she got something out of it. And she didn't have any kids, so she was a miserable old cow. And when I started moving from the location that these gang stalkers put in front of me, she started showing up at her house with a one headlighter. Cause I knew the bitch was crooked. I mean, everything she did was crooked. She always running game. She was always mad. And another way you could tell about these gang stalkers is they'll laugh. They never have a genuine laugh. It's always fake, a fake ass laugh. That's not a fucking laugh. You know when somebody's laughing and genuinely feel it, but they always fake laughing. That is one way you can tell about just anybody if they're original and genuine person, just how they laugh. You can tell it's fake. When you hear that fake laugh, know that it's fake. Just know it. We got intuition. And when your intuition is saying, that didn't even sound genuine, because it's not. It wasn't, especially if you feel like you're being gang stalked and and just intruded on when they start invading your life. And I'm telling you, I think they do it when you get on the internet. They invade your life. Now, it's a lot of people out here that's on the internet that was placed on the internet. They call them, somebody said plants. But then there's some people that genuinely don't know what's going to happen to them. They don't know that people are going to start tapping into their life using, I want to say frequencies or brain waves, but see, I'm not any kind of doctor. I haven't studied anything like that, so I don't know how to word it. But I'm telling you, that's how they know where you're gonna be. They're either sitting around, parked somewhere, waiting for you to come out. Well, how do they know where I was going? Because they're in your fucking head. They ain't saying nothing to you, but they're in your head. They know your thoughts. That technology is here. It exists. They talked about it years ago. Well, guess what? It's advanced now. They're there. The technology is here. And they do it to, I'm sure they're probably, like people they want to promote, they give them, good vibes and tell them how great they are. But the people that they don't want to promote, they tell them how a racist asshole, get the fuck out of my house, get out of my house, get out of my house. That is their main word. They house, they think they run the freaking world. And the last straw for me is when I was praying. I was, I have religious things going on with me in my life. And so I was saying my prayers. When they intervened in my prayers, I knew I needed to take it to the internet. I needed to take it to the people. Because people are walking around just like la-di-da-di-da. All you have to do is be target, be vocal on a platform such as this, and they're going to get in your head. They may not talk to you, but they're going to know exactly what you're thinking and where you're going. That's how they know where you're at. Well, I didn't tell anybody. Well, they're in your fucking head. They're in your head. That's why they know. That's how they know. Now, you're like, okay, but how is they doing? I don't know. It's a secret. And they'll use your thoughts against you. They'll criminalize every thought you have. They'll find a way to twist it, to make it criminal, like you're a bad person. Even though, your brain can play devil's advocate. You could try to evaluate a situation, and you got the yin and the yang. You think the good part of it, you're just assessing everything. You looking at it from all types of angles. Well, when you look at it from a bad angle, that's when they got you. Oh, you did it. You did it. Now, this is the V2K that they're using, and you'll hear. Now, I could close my ears. This is how intense this is. I can put my fingers in my ears and still hear. Still hear. And so I don't know what they're using. I have no idea. I'm guessing it's a supercomputer. They said, we're on a satellite. I told them to kiss my ass all the way to the moon. It's just that intense. These people are, let me tell you something. I don't give a rat's ass how friendly they may be towards you, but they are your enemy. They want your demise. They want you to be almost like an avatar for them. They want to play games. They're playing God. You know, they will use horns every time you walk out the door. Honk, honk. You go out the door again, honk, honk. 2 days later, you go out the door, honk, honk. You know, fuck it, messing with your sensories. You know, like they know eventually you're gonna notice every time you go out the door, there's a honking. You know, this it has to be done by someone who's studied psychology. You know, these aren't just run of the mill type people. They studied this type of shit and they're using it against it. They're using dark psychology against you. Is what I'm trying to say. Is dark, and they're using it against you, me. And like I said before, I'm here simply because I want to let everybody know what's going on. I mean, I want everybody to know. I want them to know that technology is here. It's here. And anybody who's being gang stalked and saying they here to B2K is real. It's real. I mean, I don't give a damn what anybody say. They make funds of gang stalking, laughing emojis. Those are usually the people that's doing the gang stalking. Those are the ones that's doing it. That's trying to laugh it off, you know. Especially on the internet. Like I said, how do they know where I'm going? Because they're in your fucking head. They're not talking to you, but they're in your head. They're hearing your thoughts because the technology is here. Now, I could sit here and I could think of different kind of things. This thing will run back what I said word for word. It'll run it word for word, word for word. Now, I don't know if they can hear my thoughts or maybe the sound is just bouncing back in my ear, but this is the game. This is the technology that they're using. Either your thoughts are bouncing back into your ear and they can't read your thoughts, or they're in your head. They're in my head. Like I said, it's man-made schizophrenia. It's man-made. And they use all these little skits on the street to get you ready for what they really got in store. Because once they start messing with you, like with your eyes visually and your ears, then they go to your head. Then they start fucking with your head. That's why they know where you at all times. Because you thought it. But anyway, I needed to say that simply because they didn't want me to say it. Somebody has to say it. And I know, like I said before, in time they're gonna find out that this type of these kind of dark activities are happening. They will find out. It will be exposed. You know, at one point I thought it was news reporters. Just you know how they had rats on the streets. You know, sitting around telling everything they see. We got people, we're on the streets. We got eyes on the streets or whatever. Meaning they got people that's on the corner, out on the corner every day, hanging out where crowds build up and they're observing and they're talking about everything that's going on the street, even on the buses. They have some asshole start talking about a subject on the bus that maybe is in the news so people can get to running their mouth about it on the bus and so they can get more information, from the streets. And another thing I noticed, these little scooters they riding around on, people are out here practicing riding those scooters so they can get to their targets faster. They're giving them these cars where they can get, instead of walking behind you, they can ride behind you. You see, these people just practicing on how to ride these scooters because they can't give everybody a car. So now they're teaching them how to, training them on using those scooters to follow people around without them having to walk because a lot of them too out of shape to do all that walking, so they train them on the scooters. And when I say about a scooter, I'm talking about the electrical things because they'll zoom by real fast, almost like those are the ones that got really good at it. But they're trying to get other people to be good at it so they can do little skits of, zooming by you, like they almost hit you, just like they play with cars, turning when you're walking, turning in front of you real fast when you're walking down the street. As soon as you get to a corner, they'll turn real fast. Well, now they're training them on the scooters so they can pass by you real fast and you be like, oh my gosh, they almost hit me on the scooter. Yes, they're getting professional scooter riders now. And anyway, let's see if we can find somebody to get on here and talk with me. I'm gonna use some things in here and I'll be right back. Hold that thought. Yeah, I gave them names. I called one Saggy. I called the other one Mealworm. And the other one, Berry Wipe. Like wipe your ass. Yeah, because you can't be nice to these things. You can't be nice to them because they ain't gonna be nice to you. Now, someone said to me, "Don't engage them. Don't say nothing to them." That's a way to protect your mental. But they can be so vicious and nasty, you can't help but say something to them. Like, for instance, they'll be like, we hate you, YouTubers hate you. I don't give a fuck. I don't know you. I don't care if you hate me or not. But they'll keep repeating it. So it'll seem like, everybody is against you. There's just three people that I hear. It could be just one person using three different type voices because this is the computer. Somebody is using a computer against me. Well, we're 54 minutes into this live, and some people came, some people went. I appreciate you, everyone who came through. Just even if you listen for a second, maybe you got something out of it for that few minutes. If not, well, it just bees like that. But if you listen to the whole video, you'll know what I'm saying, especially people who's experiencing the B2K and this gang stalking. You know, they talking about stay on high vibrations, but how can you when you got somebody cutting you down every second of the day? Because once you start getting gang stalked, I mean, like really gang stalking, they'll be in your head 24/7 because it's a computer. It's a computer they're using. And then it's like this female voice. I call her saggy. I tell her she got big musty titties. Beard wipe. I tell him to wipe his ass. Mealworm. He sound like he feminine, so you know I call him whatever the fuck I want to call him, because like I said, they quit. This is another thing they do. They will talk about children. They love to go with that children route. You know, cause that is pretty much some kind of taboo. Oh Lord, don't mess with the children. So they'll throw children at you. They'll have like children all around you making noises, being loud, or whatever. That's to, make you sensitive. Every time you turn around, somebody in a baby carriage, they'll use children. Well, what you want me to talk about? He's talking about, hey, why do you keep talking about the same thing? Well, I don't have my kittens here, and this is what's going on right now, and I want people to know about it. I want people to know about it. But yeah, they will use children against you. Now, I'm not going to talk about the news because everybody see the news, and I don't watch the news. And as far as politics go, whoever in office, they won. The end. You lost. If it was Republicans or Democrats, the Republicans won. So game over. There ain't nothing else to be said about it. It's a wrap. You lost. Yeah. For whoever can't see this, he asked me why I'm talking about the same thing. I mean, what else you want me to talk about? You want me to get in my personal business? Right. I remember you. I think you one of them gang stalking trolls. Cause how in the heck you know I'm on here? Did you subscribe? Did you get the notification? But anyway, the reason why I talk about the same thing, I'm gonna talk about it until I'm blue in the damn face, until people understand what I'm saying. That this is illegal as hell. They violate my constitutional rights. They're violating he said, no, I'm not. What's wrong with you? They're violating my constitutional rights, violating thousands of people's constitutional rights, and people need to know how they're getting into their everyday lives. They're using technology. I didn't come in here to tell you what I had for dinner. I came in here to warn the American public about you gang stalking individuals and the technology that they're hiding from law enforcement. Now, somebody told me, talking about law enforcement, already know about it. That's one of the tools that they use in order to, I guess, get confessions or find out what people's agenda is. Gang stalkers, that's who. I mean, a gang of people on the internet. That when I say gang of stalkers, I mean a gang of people on the internet. They come from the internet, and they troll, or they follow, they stalk, they watch, they try to penetrate people that's on the internet lives. That's what I'm talking about, and they use different techniques to do it. They use military technique. They use dark psychology. You know, they do that witchcraft shit. You know, try to make you think it's witchcraft. They do hocus pocus shit on the streets. You know, when they think you don't belong. See, it's about greed. Everything, the root of all evil is money. The root of all evil is money. When somebody is doing things like that, it's about dollar bills. Greed. Well, that won't be me. And first he said, who? Well, that won't be me. I mean, that's fine. But, like I said, whoever needs to hear this, let me tell you, you are not alone. It is true. It's man-made schizophrenia. They start with the mocking, then they'll start their little skits. Then they'll start with the voice to skull. First they won't say anything. They'll just be saying, get out of my house. They may use another technology, another technique on somebody else, but they would talk about get out of my house, get out of my house. Now mind you, every house, every place you stay is their house. They'll say that there are all kinds of different organizations. And they degrade you. They, call you names, this, that, and the other. They want you so insecure. They want you so insecure about going live until you be scared to go. They're trying to, paralyze you with anxiety. Money is not the root of all evil. The love of money is the root to all evil. Well, you know what? Usually when somebody doing something crooked behind somebody back, the goal of it is to get something from them. And everything, and it's using money. And some kind of money, something that's going to get them more money. The love of money. Well, people love money. I mean, not everybody, some will give it away. But they'll still keep enough so they can live on because you need it in this world. Everything, but I'm telling you about these gang stalkers, it's money. It's about money. It ain't got nothing to do with love. It's about money and them moving up some kind of way in society, throwing somebody else under the bus, violating rights, violating privacy, and then they'll say, you signed the contract, on YouTube to be trolled. Nobody signed no contract for people to break into your house, tearing up your shit, putting holes in your clothes, spreading rumors, slander. Nobody signed up for that. But they have they have the right to invade your life simply because you're on a public platform. Okay, I'm like an hour and 4 seconds. Now, speaking of money, I wish everyone would hit that like and subscribe simply because I'm trying to get my 1,000 subs. No, I'm not trying to make a name for myself. I'm trying to get that extra $100. Because I don't think I'm gonna be doing it to the point where I want hundreds of thousands of viewers. I want my time to be documented and paid for, because I'm giving you some real live information, letting you see in a little bit into my life, and it's not glamorous, and I know that, people come on YouTube hoping to see people's stuff. Well, I ain't got a lot of stuff. As you can see, it's empty. And from what I've seen, stuff is like an anchor. It holds you down. Ain't worry about everybody trying to steal your stuff. So I gave away a lot of my stuff. And I'm not going to ever have a bunch of stuff again. I don't think it's worth it. Just have the bare essentials, and be happy with it. I had a house full of stuff. I don't need all that shit. It's an anchor. It holds you down. When you want to get up and go, you can't go because of your stuff. Scared somebody gonna steal your stuff. What you gonna do with all that stuff? I'm not talking about Trump. He says, if you keep talking about Trump, nobody's gonna tap in. Ain't nobody feeling the demon. Well, you know what? I don't care about if not people that don't support Trump. I don't care. I mean, you want to split the country like, oh, if you talk about Trump, I don't care. I'll talk about whatever I want to talk about. I mean, hell, if Biden was in office, I'll talk about him. It don't make no difference. Y'all, to act like you're so divided just because Trump in office, well, guess what? He's in office. Get over it. He's in office. He won. Winning. W. And I don't care. And then the people that don't like Trump, well, move on. Who cares? Bye. I don't care if you so politic, if you got your head up the political donkey's ass, that's you. That's your problem. If you really think it's that serious, they gonna put whoever the fuck they want to put in office. You could like it or not. Oh, the election was rigged. So what? It won't be the first or the last time. You think they're going to just put who you like? Shh, please. No, he's not destroying our country. This country is destroyed because people want to act like political stuff is all that. It's not all that. It's too, you know what? I don't know what you want. We got millions of people in here. Don't you think it's enough? How many people you want? 1 billion? People still in poverty. What the hell you want more for? What are you talking about? Gas, the war? Well, guess what? We've been warring since we've been on the planet. It hasn't stopped. It hasn't stopped. People war. That's what they do. Why you think they building all these bombs and planes and stuff? So they can sit in a warehouse? No, they're going to use them on that ass to get what they want to make their country stronger. You get with the program. Okay, well, we don't want their land. You do want it when it's vacation time. You'll be all up in their shit. I'm going to Egypt. No, and look, everybody said every president that's president since it's been the internet, everybody been talking about how crazy they is, how pedophiles they is. You know, you say the same thing about every president that gets in office. You ain't never liked not one of them. Nobody is never like, it's always somebody gonna criticize the president. Everyone you got, they criticize every one of them, saying they ruining the country. Every one of them. It's a big, man, why do you think these senators do what they do? They go to work every day eh, happier than a bug in a rug. You know what? Because they know it's people like they're just gonna keep it going. They don't give a damn. They gonna still do what they want to do because they running this country and they're trying to figure out what's best for the country. And not everybody gonna like it because they never do. He's not the worst one. No, he's not. No, he's not. You let somebody in the office other than him that don't give a shit about child police. You ain't seen the worst one. Let somebody in the office really don't give a fuck about you. And they ain't talking about American this and America that. I mean, shoot, what he's supposed to do? Not benefit no kind of way, but being president, he'll be a fool. You would do it if you was in office. If you could benefit from being in office, you will. If you could benefit, whether it's business wise, you would take those perks. So what, you ain't got to support nonsense? Everybody says it's nonsense. Every president that's been in office, they call him nonsense. They call Biden a babbling dementia patient. You know, saying they talked about Clinton, they talked about Obama, they talked about Trump, they talked about Biden. That's what they do. That's what people do. They talk about me. They talk about you. If they could, if you was on the platform, they'd probably say you the worst president ever. And you are this, that, and the other. They'll dig. If they don't know the truth, they'll make it up. If they're not getting their way, you done made all that money when Biden was in office, now you can't make it, so you're mad. Well, you should have saved your pennies when the getting was good. But now you ain't got the same perks, so you pissed off about it. You ain't got it. You will see, do man, ain't nothing gonna change. I don't care about prices going up. I don't give a damn that you can't ride back and forth across the city polluting. So what, you was riding too hard anyway. The ozone layer was getting messed up because of all that riding around trolling. Look, you know what? He ain't gonna do nothing. Like I said, what do you think those planes and bombs for? To sit in there? To just sit in there and become no good? No, it's to bomb some asses. That's what they're for, to bomb. And he's using them. He's using all them old bombs to get what? New land. Yep, they don't want it, but guess what? They gonna get it. And then once they finish bombing their ass, they're going to rebuild it, make it much nicer. And guess what? Americans can go to Beirut. And then it'll be a plane full of, I always wanted to go to Beirut. Now we done bombed the shit out of them. Or whoever they bombing, they're going to make it a tourist attraction. So Americans and everybody else can go there without worrying about being kidnapped, robbed, and beat the shit out of. Illegally, all fair in love and war. When you in war, it's fair. It's not illegally. They've been warring since people been on the planet. Since people been on the planet, they've been warring. And then if it wasn't for, and then, it's the color of the skin. Man, if it wasn't the color, it'd be the damn eye color. It'll be the hair color. It'll be the way you walk, the way you talk, because we already got people that think they smarter than everybody. I can't hang with them. They're just way too lowbrow for me. Oh, people ain't smart enough for you. They ain't white enough for you. It's always gonna be something. They ain't black enough for you. It's always gonna be something. So, the thing is, these generation, every new generation, everybody gotta go through the same old dumb shit. Try to get y'all to understand how it works. The same gotta tell it over and over again. Gotta tell it over and over again. Oh, that's not fair. Well, it's not been fair for a long time. War is war. And then and as soon as they get those countries, you'll be vacationing in them. Be the first one with your ticket. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, they bummed the shit out of them for it. Well, if you don't want, well, you know what? If it was nice and they rebuild it and the tickets was low and you can go and see the girls or the guys drop it like hot and the prices are low, you'll be there. If you like to travel, and from what I hear, everybody complaining about gas and stuff. If the gas was cheap and you could fly across the country for little or nothing, you would be there. And anyway, I'm in an hour and 17 minutes of live. I know a lot of people don't want to talk about politics, and I'm not, too, um, I don't know too much about it. I'll just say it like that. But I could tell you this, it's the same damn thing. It's just the new generation don't know it. You go picketing and protesting. It's the same damn thing. And then when somebody gets shot and killed by the police, oh, you picketing and protesting. Those people got guns. They're gonna kill somebody eventually. Duh. What do you think they carry guns for? So they can look good on their hip? They gonna use them on that ass. If you go acting crazy, and if you go acting crazy, too crazy, or with somebody who ain't gonna put up with that shit and gonna restrain you and not give a rat's ass how they do it, guess what? That's your ass, Mr. Postman. You don't fuck with the police. You leave them alone. You do what they tell you to do. They got guns for a reason. It ain't to look good. They don't practice whooping that ass simply because they're gonna go home and use it on their family. They're gonna use it on your ass to keep themselves safe. So you get up there waving your arms around, acting like you gonna jump them, or you can't listen to them, or you so out of fucking control they gonna put you down like a rabid dog. They are under stress. So you can sit up there and stand up in their face if you want to, yelling and barking. When they punch you in your fucking mouth, don't be surprised. That's aggression. Now me myself, I don't play with the police. I do what they tell me to do. No, my family, no, let me tell you something about the men and the women in my family. They don't fuck around with the police. They don't play games with them. They don't yell in their face, it's your job, you can't do this, I got the right. No, they listen. They listen to every fucking word they say and they do it. You gotta respect authority. I'm not telling the damn police what I ain't gonna do. I'm gonna do what he tell me to do. And I'm gonna do it humbly, cause he got a gun. Okay? And he got the right. He's there to protect himself. I'm not gonna be bouncing around in his face telling him what I ain't gonna do. All right, we're an hour and 21 minutes into this live. If anybody's here, I only see one person, which I appreciate. Um, I appreciate the conversation. I hope that you understood what I was saying. But yeah. Well, I don't know if it's for nothing. Now, for nothing, sometimes, look, it's not for nothing. They did it for some reason, some kind of threat. I see a threat. You know, some people, maybe the training, you know, when you're dealing with a crazy motherfucker and they're doing things that get a police a little edgy, like they finna threaten to hit them with something, draw back at them. You know, when you do stuff like that and you got a cop that's not gonna be injured. He's not going to let you, and maybe they're not good at assessing a mentally ill person, but at the end of the day, they want to go home and they're not going to let you injure them. So you shouldn't act like you're going to. And if you say it for nothing meaning just walking down the street and they just shoot your ass. That's for nothing. Hell, let's do a little target practice. That's for nothing. But if they feel a threat, whether or not it was a small one to you, at the time it was a big one to them. They was not going home injured. That's why you can't threaten them. They are under too much stress already. You should just listen to every freaking word they say. And don't move too fast and don't reach for nothing. But anyway, I don't, I don't know. videos I've seen, people was a little too hyped with the police. They don't know what they're going through. You don't know what kind of stress they're under. They could have what is it, PTSD. That's why you move slow with them. You don't know what they're going through. You know how many folks got killed and that wasn't doing anything and lost their life, lady, please. Well, I mean, they lost their life because guess who they were dealing with? A man with a gun. They were dealing with a man with a gun. Okay, you think if you had a gun, I'm going to be bouncing all in front of you acting like I'm going to jump you? Nope. Ain't no shame on me, nothing. It said, damn, you so lost, shame on you. I'm not going to be bouncing around in front of no police acting like I'm not going to even argue with them. I'm not going to argue with the police. Why? It's no point of it. You listen to what they got to say and you abide by it. That's all you do. All that. I ain't going to put my hands around my back. I ain't going to do this. I ain't going to do that. Hell, let the court sort it out. I'm not going because what you arrest me for, I'm not going. You better go before he would put that billy club on your ass. Because that's what he gonna do. Once he tell you under arrest or he's detaining you, you supposed to go by his authority. Whether he right or wrong, figure it out in the courts. Yes, you're gonna spend a day in jail, maybe even 30 days, and you'll be trial guilty or not guilty of the crime. That's how the system works. But telling them what you ain't gonna do, it sure ain't gonna work. I know my rights, I ain't putting my hand. Man, don't touch me, don't touch me. Don't touch you. Once he touch you, it's on. It's on. It's supposed to be over. When he put his hands on you, it's over. There's no more arguing. There should be no more resisting. Once he lay his hands on you, there should be no more resisting. You figure that shit out in court. Yeah, you gonna lose your place for running that mouth. That rent ain't gonna be paid. It's gonna be backed up for running that mouth. But anyway, that's the way I see it. Like I said, when I'm interacting with the police, I do what they say. I don't want to lose my place. You know, arguing with the police, telling him what he ain't gonna do. And I know my rights. Once they touch you, your rights, it just went out the window. They're gonna put your ass in that car. And you can figure out your rights when you get to court. Now you leave them the fuck alone, stop trying to tell them how to do their job, then you'll be all right. But anyway, that was an hour. We're an hour and 28 minutes. I'm still testing how far I can videotape. And this is a pretty good time. And I appreciate everyone that came through. I hope you can understand what I'm saying. You know, I'm not pro nothing, but I know how to keep my ass out of trouble. I know how to do that. I'm not going to be in their damn face telling them what they not going to do. And as far as that game stalking going, like I said, it came right from here. So that's why I'm here, just in case they want to talk to me in person. I'm in your house. Since you want to be in mine, I'm in yours. And I'm finna go ahead and close this out. And this is Yesme. I call myself Stranger Babe because I don't feel like I need to be putting my name out here so more trolls and gang stalkers can call me by name. I like my privacy and I'll keep that to myself. And if you know my name, you're definitely a troll because I haven't mentioned it not one time. Thank you once again for coming through. One person, two people. You heard what I had to say, rewind it and try to get a clear understanding. Know your history. We've been warned since we've been on the planet. Know your history. And I want to say I love y'all, but I don't know y'all. So peace out and thank you for coming in. Look, y'all, I done figured out where the button is to end it. I'm learning. It's learning. Stranger. My stranger.